remain permanent. Even after we call off the operation, we will not withdraw the presence of security officers. They will dominate those areas and make it impossible for bandits to retreat to the Corcoran Hills in Baringo, Tandare Valley, the Pura Valley, Malaso Escarpment, and all the gorges and caves that were identified. So I think we need to clarify for the public interest, through you, Mr. Speaker, that those orders were not targeting habitual places of public residence. They were targeting specific, remote, and uninhabited areas where bandits could retreat and plan attacks, but then pursuant to the requirement of international law on the use of force, we are to give a notice, because some would ask, why give a notice to bandits to vacate? The target was not on bandits. In fact, we did not expect them to vacate. We did not expect them to vacate because these bandits had grown horns and were full of impunity and theatrics. That notice was intended at the general public. They could be members of their families, women and children, because under international law, if you're going to use force, then you must ensure that that force is targeted at armed criminals or belligerents or people who are resisting authority, and members of the public should have that notice. And I am happy to report, Mr. Speaker, those places are now clear. With regard to the attacks that we continue to experience in those areas, is as a result of some of the bandits who took the 24-hour window to mix up with the public. We are working very hard to make sure that we also extinguish the remaining threats. And therefore, in a nutshell, the operation, in our view, is a success. We have learned in the last 2 months there are still gaps. We are going to seal the gaps. We will stay there as long as it takes. I want to assure the people of Samburu County and all the other counties affected, including counties affected by this menace but which are not part of the operation yet. I want to assure them the crime of violent cattle theft, rustling, banditry, and visiting terror on the public by criminals. We will make sure that that culture and that practice is finished and it will be part of the history of Kenya. We are determined to do whatever it takes. It takes a while because of the intricacies involved, but Honorable Speaker, we are on course and we will win the war. It's either Kenya or bandits. It's either the law or crime. One has to give way. Kenya will not give way. The government will not give way. The people of Kenya will not give way. Bandits, criminals, have to give way. Honorable Speaker, with regard to the second part of the question, I would like to respond as follows. The measures that we are taking, other than the military and police action to flush out criminals, includes improving our intelligence so that we work on intelligence based and intelligence-led security. We've made great strides in strengthening multi-agency intelligence sharing, even within the organs of the national security. Within the National Intelligence Service, National Police Service, other agencies that are involved in the security of our country, we are investing heavily on intelligence. And the same way, Mr. Speaker, the enhancement of intelligence-led security has helped us to contain the threat of terrorism. I am convinced beyond doubt that Kenya will win against bandits through intelligence-led security operations. Number two, we have deployed and enhanced the Special Operation Group, which is one of the formed units of the National Police Service. And Mr. Speaker, for the information of the House, the future of our country winning over sophisticated and complex crime, including banditry, terrorism, drug trafficking, the future is in the specialized formed units of the National Police Service. We have a number of these formed units: Special Operations Group, the Rapid Deployment Unit, the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, and others, including the General Service Unit. These are our front-line soldiers in the fight against complex crime. And therefore, with regard to the measures taken in Samburu West, we have deployed in the last few weeks the Special Operation Group, which helped us a great deal 2 months ago to stabilize Samburu North, the area of Baragoi. There were gunshots every day, deaths and bloodshed every day. But the Senator of Samburu and the people of Samburu will tell you from December last year, that area has been cleared. And the challenge we have, Mr. Speaker, and we call upon Parliament, the two houses of Parliament, to support our security sector. The investments required in the specialized training of these formed units is so high, yet the results are extremely precious for this country. The war against terror was won by the formed units, including, of course, the anti-terror police unit. The war on banditry will be won by a mixture of general policing, but also the use of formed units. And therefore, we will require the support of the House. So the way we've done with Baragoi, we are now putting SOG on other parts of Samburu and also on other parts of the affected counties, even those that are not within the operation area. And I can report to the House that on Friday, I'll be visiting Elgeyo Marakwet to see the deployment of SOG because of the Koloa Bridge and the problems we've had in Marakwet East between Tiati and Marakwet. There has been cross-border raids of late. We have sealed off that area now. It's going to be a thing of the past. And so gradually we are winning the war. We'll invest in peace building. Shortly we are starting a peace engagement, community-led peace engagement and peace building activities in all these areas because we thought we stabilized the areas first before we engage in peace building. We will also do disarmament, but we've taken our time first to stabilize and silence the guns. We must disarm the public. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the nation through this House, every criminal holding firearms illegally